Now, one of Africa's biggest gold producers, Acacia Mining, has been hit with a $190 billion tax bill in Tanzania. The country's government says the UK-listed company has been operating illegally and understated the amount of gold it exports. Tanzania's biggest gold producer strongly denies the accusations and says it has fully declared all its revenues. Acacia Mining has been hit hard since President John Magufuli's ban on exports of mineral concentrates came into effect in March. Now, the company's stock has lost more than 30% on the London Stock Exchange in the past 2 days, bringing its total market value to $984 million, its lowest since 2015. The bill comprises $40 billion in unpaid taxes and $150 billion in penalties. Analysts say it's more than double the amount the world's top 5 gold miners have paid in taxes in more than 15 years. Let's get more on this now from Daniel Ashby, who joins me now from the Tanzanian capital, Dar es Salaam. Great to have you with us, Daniel. So, how important is gold mining to the Tanzanian economy?
Gold mining makes up about 3 to 4% of GDP here, which doesn't sound like a lot, but bear in mind that Tanzania is a largely agrarian society. The government believes that mining will expand to take up 10% of the economy, so it is a substantial part. Also, mineral ore exports alone are a quarter of all Tanzanian exports, and it's not just substantial, but it's very fast growing. Gold production has gone up by 700% in the last 10 or 15 years, so it's also turning into a very lucrative part of the economy.
Daniel, why then is the government going after Acacia so aggressively? Is it trying to send a message to other foreign companies operating in the country that they have to pay what they owe?
The President has simply come out and said in rallies that he feels that Tanzanians are being robbed of their natural resources. He believes that mining companies have signed contracts which weren't in the interests of the Tanzanian people with previous Tanzanian governments. But he really wants to change that, and he's going after them in his usual style, which is as the bulldozer, as he's known here. He doesn't do softly. He believes that the way to get mining companies to change their behaviour is to go and hit them where it hurts, which is to affect their profits. As for sending a message to other mining companies, he is doing that as well. They have changed the laws here to make sure that the government can now renegotiate all its mining contracts with all companies, all natural resource companies, even take control of 50% of mining shares.
Daniel, so how are ordinary people viewing this? Are they buying that line, or do they see companies like Acacia as valuable employers of tens of thousands of people in the country? Whose side are they on?
Well, Tanzania is a country of two halves. You have cities like Dar es Salaam, one of the fastest growing cities in East Africa, where investors, business people are very nervous about this. The government to them looks very uncertain. You have the Tanzania Chamber of Minerals saying that there could be widespread social and financial consequences. They already know of some small mines closing. But then you go out to the countryside, and like I said, this is a country largely of subsistence farmers. Most of them have a lot of sympathy for what the president is saying. They believe that they have remained poor for too long, and they are very much lapping up his message.
Finally, is there any hope that Tanzania can change its economy from being, reliant on agriculture and minerals to something a little bit more valuable up the value chain?
Well, that is exactly the president's goal. He believes by bringing in this export ban on mineral concentrate, which is affecting companies like Acacia so much, that he will force industrialization, that because there is no way to get the mineral ore out the country, then companies will simply have to build factories here. And that will be the key to making Tanzania a more developed country. There are skeptics, of course. There are a lot of companies who say that there isn't the market, the investment to build these types of factories, and the government needs to bring more businesses on board. That battle will continue to play itself out in the months and years ahead.
Daniel Ashby in Dar es Salaam, thank you ever so much.